Howdy everyone, this is Omar, your audio amigo, here with a video that I didn't think I would need to do. So in my unboxing video, there were several questions about the 4.4mm to 3.5mm adapter that HiSenior is including in the Mega5Est base, and whether or not it was safe to use with your sources. I had assumed, using what I know about, signals and things, that the adapter would be wired a bit like this, where the left and right positive signals would go to left and right positive on the 3.5, and the ground would go to the ground, and the inverses of the signals would not be wired to anything. That way, yes, the op amps would have to work a little bit harder, but at least there's no risk of shorting these two together and causing potential damage to amps or players that don't have a protection circuit. And I answered that to some people in the comments, and I actually received a message from HiSenior on Twitter when I posted the unboxing video telling me that that was the case and to answer the question that way if anybody asked. But, to do my due diligence, I pulled out my multimeter to go check, and the results were, let's just say, not what I was expecting. So what I'm going to do here is recreate those tests for y'all. So I have my multimeter here. I have it set to continuity, and what that basically means is if there's a circuit between the 2 points that I touch, it will beep. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and hopefully y'all will still be able to hear the beep. And I'm going to first check the wiring of the regular Manta cable, which should be all fine. So I'm going to hook the lead up to the ground, which is the pin on the bottom here. And if I remember correctly, the ground on the 2-pin connectors should be on this cable the one that is forward. So if I touch here, that's a beep. So that's the ground pin for the right connector. Left connector, same thing. It'll be the one here on the front. Beep. So, good connection there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the tip of the connector, which is the left audio signal. So if I touch to, this is the right connector, either of these pins, we should get nothing. That means the cable's not internally shorted. Means we're good. Okay? And if I go to the left one, if I touch the front one, which is the ground, nothing. And if I touch the back one, which is the signal, beep. So that's wired correctly. Okay? So now, just for completion's sake, we will check the ring, which is the signal for the right IEM cable. And there's the right one right there. And again, it should be on the back. And we have continuity. So that's how that thing is wired. So now that we know that, we'll go ahead and attach the 4.4mm adapter. Now, if it's wired this way, okay, the tip should go to the left, the right, the second ring here should go to the right, and the ground should go to either pin on the ground side, okay? So we'll go ahead and test that. We'll start by testing the tip. So connect to the tip there, and we will test the left, and again, it should be on the back pin. So you have continuity there, so no problem. Okay, now, the next ring here is the inverse of the left signal, okay? If this is wired in the safe configuration, okay, there should be no signal on the ground pin for the left IEM here. And that's a problem. And it becomes a problem because if I take the right IEM cable here, guess what? It also goes to the ground of here. Now, that's that inverse signal. If I move it over one, that should be the right positive, okay? And where's the right connector? That's this one. Okay, so this should be the back connector here. So we're good. Nothing on the ground, okay? But again, if I move it over to right inverse, come on. There we go. Then, as you can see, it's connected to ground on the left, and it's connected to ground on the right. And in fact, if I go ahead and touch here, you can see that the inverse signals are in fact shorted to each other. Are they shorted to ground? They are not shorted to the ground. Okay, so they're shorted to each other, but not to the ground. Okay, now just for completion's sake, let's check the ground, and you'll see here that it's not wired to absolutely anything. There you go. Nothing. So, and just to make sure my multimeter works. All right, we're good. So, this means that since the inverse signals are shorted to each other, certain configurations of audio players and amps that do not have proper protection circuits may sustain damage. It's just not a good way to do the adapter. It's why they tell you you can't go from a balanced, source to a unbalanced cable. It just doesn't work. This, I think, is the only safe way to do it, and I know very few adapters that actually do this. This is how HiSenior's adapter is wired, and this is all kinds of not okay. So I did reach out to HiSenior, and they have told me that they should be making a statement soon, and that they might be doing something to fix this for the customers. But basically, I am making this video to tell you, don't use this adapter. It might be safe for your player, your amp, whatever. I did try this with my K7 after HiSenior told me it was safe, and my K7 is fine, and my IEMs are fine. But my K7, I did look at the diagram for it. It does have some protection circuitry in it. But in the abundance of caution, I will tell anyone who's watching this to not use this adapter at all. Just put it in the box, forget it exists, run this thing as a 3.5 mil only, and just forget this exists. Just to be safe. Your amp probably might be fine, but I'm not going to take the chance and tell you, oh, we'll use it anyway. Most of the time will be fine. No, because for the 2% of you that this will fry your amp, I'm not going to be responsible for that. Do not use this adapter. Wait for the statement. Wait to see what they're going to do. If you have one of these IEMs, contact HiSenior. Like I said, they have told me they're going to fix this. They told me they're going to, issue a statement or something, so keep an eye out for that. I'm only making this video to signal boost the issue and make sure that no one has their equipment damaged by this. So I'm sorry if I'm coming across as maybe a bit sensationalistic, but I really don't want anyone's really nice players or amps to get fried over something like this. So yeah, unscripted sort of tech video, that's going to do it for me. Please share this video as much as you can on social media, just so that people who buy this IEM know not to use this. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Bye.